The SEER browser edition is a lightweight version of SEER that can be deployed entirely from a browser with no desktop installation required whatsoever. Currently, we support SEER-SEM and SEER-IT. I'm going to demonstrate it by loading SEER-SEM and showing you how it works. First screen we're going to see is a template screen, which permits you to choose a variety of different views of how the estimate works. These templates can be defined by the user, and templates, as you can see, can be very different, containing different sets of parameters, different sets of entry screens, whatever the specific user or users need to see. The default set of templates is shown here along with a few extras. We've got a lightweight business case. We could have a detailed estimate where all SEER-SEM parameters can be shown. Plus, we have international support shown here with Chinese, Russian, and Korean versions. I'm going to load Business Case Plus, which shows off a variety of the browser edition's features. The first thing that you'll see is a screen like this that has a menu at top, a navigation bar, and then a set of parameters. By clicking the navigation bar, different sets of parameters appear. This template comes predefined with these pages that are shown in this navigation bar. However, you could define an alternate set of pages, and within each page, you could define an alternate set of parameters. I'm going to create a quick estimate to show you Browser Edition as it works. I'm going to select some basic information. Element name is going to be my first Browser Edition project. Click Next. I could also have just clicked up here to go to this screen. I'm going to enter lines of code. As you can see, the lines of code, just like in the desktop SEM, are propagated across all entries when I make an entry. I'm going to add a range to this, though. And I'm going to go straight to the estimate page. I've clicked on the estimate page, and the Browser Edition works with SEER-SEM in the background to deliver an estimate. We have the key reports and charts that the desktop edition has: basic labor, an activity report, a risk report, and an entries report. We also can set references in the Browser Edition just by clicking on the Set Reference link. Any number of references, practically a number of references can be created. And now I'm going to go back and show you a few of the other specialized screens in the Browser Edition. As you go through, you can see that the entries that are in desktop SEM, for example, for knowledge bases, are accessible via drop-down lists. These entries can be customized. So if you have a customer that doesn't want to see all the entries, you can make them fewer in number, and you could also rename them. Other entries, for example, the risk entry, can be retranslated. As I mentioned, you can rename entries. So in SEER-SEM, these might be numbers, probability numbers. Over here for risk tolerance, which would be the percentage parameters in SEER-SEM. In the Browser Edition, you can actually substitute that with text. Extremely conservative in SEER-SEM, the risk entry might be 10%. If I go to another tab, knowledge-based sizing is a feature that you find in desktop SEM, and also you can find that in the Browser Edition, and it works very similarly to the browser to desktop SEM, I can filter on points. And the browser edition works with the same databases, so the SEER historical database, just like the SEER desktop version, is being used. And I can actually select a bunch of items and do calculations just like desktop SEM. We also have analogy-based sizing. And we have integrated the scatter plot into the browser edition so that estimates can be seen, again, using historical database actuals. The backend to the browser edition is all being served remotely from a server. All the databases and the SEER estimating engine are all installed on a remote server, being shown on my within my browser. We also support different types of inputs. For example, PMC snapshots can be entered here. If I go back to the Estimate tab, some other features are available as well. You can flexible export. Any flexible export template defined in desktop SEER SEM can also be applied into the browser edition. And export options include to a file and to the user's clipboard. I'll click and we get a file here. Show you the output. This looks just like it would look from a desktop export template. In addition, you can notify coworkers of estimates simply by clicking the Notify button. That's entering a mail entry, and the estimate will be sent, PDF of the estimate will be sent to the user. If you want to create an estimate that involves more than one program element, you actually have the benefit of a full work breakdown structure. This work breakdown structure that I've been working with as a single program, I can insert additional program elements. And as we go on, we can create more items. I also can view the WBS as a full screen. Choice is yours. And I can also insert projects. For example, click Merge, and I add Trading Support System, hit Merge, and this project is going to be incorporated into my current project. Once the project is loaded, you can see Trading Support System merged into the current project wherever I specified. The browser edition also works with the SEER database. The project that I just obtained was using the same SEER database that the desktop version uses, and browser edition projects are fully compatible backward and forward with desktop edition projects. Custom parameters are also supported as they are in the desktop edition. In fact, custom parameters can be integrated into the browser edition in entry screens as well. If I click here, I can go to any element of the WBS. And after it's loaded, I will go directly to the estimate screen. However, I could go back and review entries made elsewhere. These entries were made in desktop SEER SEM, and they're imported for review here. If I decide that the template I'm using is not providing the view that I need, I can go into another template, for example, the detailed estimate template right on the fly by clicking the template button and get a different set of pages and parameters, or entries as we're called them in the browser edition, to get a different perspective on the estimate if necessary. Wherever I am in the estimate, I can click Quick Estimate, and the current estimate will pop up for me to examine. This concludes the demonstration of the SEER browser edition.